Today, first news. European nations launch a LEAP program to revolutionize low-cost drone defense. 5 major European powers, known as the E5, have officially pledged to develop affordable air defense systems and autonomous drones by leveraging critical Ukrainian battlefield expertise. France, Poland, Germany, the United Kingdom and Italy are spearheading the Low-Cost Effectors and Autonomous Platforms (LEAP) initiative to counter the rising threat of inexpensive aerial hardware. This collaboration aims to fix the current economic imbalance where multi-million-dollar jets are frequently deployed to intercept drones costing only a few $1,000s. The initiative follows repeated airspace violations and the urgent need for a drone wall along European borders. By integrating artificial intelligence and joint procurement strategies, the E5 nations plan to strengthen NATO's shield while reducing the financial burden of defense. Leaders emphasize that this move is essential for European sovereignty and security, as global alliances face unprecedented redefinition and modern warfare tactics continue to evolve rapidly. Next news. Epstein survivor to attend State of the Union following fallout with Trump. Haley Robson, a Republican sexual abuse survivor of Jeffrey Epstein who once voted for President Donald Trump, will attend Tuesday's State of the Union address as a guest of Representative Ro Khanna. Robson has publicly retracted her support for the administration, expressing deep disgust over the handling of the Epstein files. Khanna, who partnered with Republican Thomas Massie to force the release of these documents, stated that Robson's presence highlights the fight against a two-tiered system of justice and the need for accountability among the Epstein class. The invitation follows the high-profile arrest of former British Royal Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and ongoing frustration regarding heavy redactions in the released Epstein files. While President Trump has dismissed the investigation as a Democrat hoax, survivors like Robson continue to demand full transparency, even calling for the president's impeachment. Despite the political friction and the resignation of former ally Marjorie Taylor Greene over the issue, survivors maintain that their quest for justice transcends partisan lines. Next news. Taiwan monitors increased Chinese military activity near its borders. Taiwan's Ministry of National Defense reported a significant surge in Chinese military presence, detecting 14 sorties and 6 naval vessels around its territorial waters as of Friday morning. According to official statements, 10 of these aircraft crossed the median line, entering Taiwan's Northern, Central and Southwestern Air Defense Identification Zone (ADIZ) for air-sea joint training. The Republic of China Armed Forces confirmed they have monitored the situation and responded accordingly to the maneuvers involving J-10, J-16 and KJ-500 aircraft. Amid these persistent security challenges, President Lai Ching-te used his Lunar New Year address to reassure the public of Taiwan's growing resilience. He emphasized that the government remains committed to strengthening national defense and advancing economic development. Expressing gratitude to the armed forces and Coast Guard, President Lai noted that while the nation has faced numerous trials over the past year, these hardships have only made Taiwan stronger and more prepared to seize future opportunities. Next news. Supreme Court strikes down Trump's sweeping global tariffs. The U.S. Supreme Court delivered a monumental blow to President Donald Trump's economic agenda on Friday, invalidating the majority of his sweeping tariff measures. In a 6-3 ruling, the Apex Court held that the president exceeded his legal authority under the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act (IEEPA) to impose extensive import duties on nearly all global trading partners. Chief Justice John Roberts, writing for the majority, emphasized that the Constitution grants the power to levy taxes and tariffs exclusively to Congress, noting that the IEEPA does not expressly authorize the executive branch to bypass the legislature for such broad fiscal actions. This verdict represents a significant shift after a string of interim victories for the administration. The financial stakes are immense, as the government has already collected nearly $134 billion in levies that may now face legal claims for refunds. This ruling coincides with a major pivot in US-India relations, following a recent framework for an interim agreement. Under this deal, the US will reduce reciprocal tariffs on Indian goods from 50% to 18%, while India has pledged to eliminate duties on various US industrial and agricultural products. Despite the court's decision on global emergency tariffs, sector-specific duties on steel and aluminum remain in place. Next news. Trump signals 10-day deadline for Iran nuclear deal amid strike warnings. President Donald Trump announced on Friday that he is considering limited military strikes on Iran to pressure the government into a new nuclear agreement. During a meeting with U.S. governors, Trump confirmed his deliberations, which follow his claims of having obliterated Iran's nuclear program during Operation Midnight Hammer last summer. Despite those previous strikes, the president maintains that Tehran remains a nuclear threat and has now set what appears to be a 10-day deadline for a meaningful deal. He warned that bad things would happen if an agreement is not reached, stressing that Iran must stop threatening regional stability. The threat comes as a massive U.S. military buildup continues in the Middle East, including the deployment of the USS Gerald R. Ford to join the USS Abraham Lincoln. Together, these carrier groups and land-based squadrons represent the largest concentration of U.S. air power in the region in decades. While negotiators Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner have held good talks in Geneva, no breakthrough has been achieved.